They won't cover the fact of the lines will not cover the fact that Calvin and Kenny, they got fired.
I don't think it's good because they know how the kid tick. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it could be detrimental because we've seen certain situations that the father
told Tank them. I told Tank them to pay him. I told him to pay him because, or we need to go on coaches strike around this because ain't no way Bill should be getting paid and Calvin shouldn't.
Bill Haney went off on Gervonta Tank Davis during a live interview, accusing him of being the one who let go of his longtime trainer, Calvin Ford. Haney criticized Tank's decision, suggesting that it had a direct impact on his latest performance.
They won't cover the fact of the Lions podcast will not cover the fact that Calvin and Kenny, they got fired. Now, if Devin fired me, it would be, huh? Well, they got fired.
I didn't know that was real. I thought that was some cat.
They're trying to be quiet. Man, they done got fired, man. Them people that got fired, man. They hoping they get hired. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they're working on getting back.
Man, Calvin came in on there with them. He had them GTD fur shorts, with them GTD leggings, with that GTD Kango cap, with that GTD glasses, GTD shirt. Man, guess what? The man gave him a hug, man, and left him in the hallway. And everybody want to act like that they're not really. See, they keep that magnifying glass on us, and yeah. You know, they're not going to, the live podcast, they're going to report that.
After Tank Davis parted ways with Calvin Ford, many believe he was not fully focused in his fight against Lamont Roach. Fans were quick to call it Tank's worst showing, arguing that without Ford's coaching, he didn't look like himself. Training without Ford's guidance seemed to take a toll on Tank, leading to questions about whether the split hurt his concentration and overall performance.
What's the best for him? I'm hoping that he do what I need him to do. You know what I'm saying? You see how I asked him, are you ready? You know what I'm saying? Because I need somebody that's going to really push Tank so I can see different levels. This time I had a chance to step back, and everybody keeps saying, they changing up stuff. No, we ain't changed up anything. It's the same thing we always do. You know?
Going into the training camp, how was it? Or you said yes, you stepped back a little bit. How was it, splitting the time? Or how's it going to be splitting the time to
No, this is
Saturday
something
night?
that we do all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Right now, y'all know all I got to do is speak. Been taking out history since I was a kid. When I stepped in the gym, B said, yo, I'm glad you here now. He watched him. He said, boom. And I see the light in Tank. I just can't wait to see all of that come together. Fight night.
How's going back to being in the corner? How do you see Gervonta right now? Just being in camp, because at first when we talked to him in the press conference, he was very open about retiring and he was done. And now he said that
y'all have to understand. He a young man. He have a family.
Calvin Ford has always made it clear that his relationship with Tank Davis is about more than just boxing. He has often said he's more than a trainer. He's been a mentor, helping Tank both inside and outside the ring. Ford has taken the same approach with all of his fighters, believing in long-term development. Even after his split with Tank, Ford has reflected on his journey as a coach, saying he continues to learn and grow. He acknowledges that every choice, good or bad, teaches him something new, shaping the way he trains fighters moving forward.
Again, it's a sticky situation. Some promoters, some managers try to move the father out the life of certain situations and whatnot. I don't think it's good because they know how the kid tick. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it could be detrimental because we've seen certain situations that the father do too much instead of letting the athlete be the athlete. So, it's a learning experience, and I learned from them situations and whatnot, what to do and what not to do, because at the end of the day, they're their own self, you know what I'm saying, and hope that you gave them enough knowledge to be what they want to become,
Bill Haney, who trains and manages his son, Devin Haney, has been outspoken about how Tank Davis handles his team, especially Calvin Ford. In a playful yet pointed comment, Bill once joked that Tank should have been paying Ford properly, or the coach might decide to go on strike. He suggested that if Tank had been financially supporting Ford the way he should, his trainer wouldn't be struggling.
I think it's personal between you and Calvin. Also, his Tank's coach. Is it?
Man, I told Coach.
For those that don't know, Coach Calvin is Tank's coach. So I'm just for our audience.
And I said, listen, ain't no way your fighter gonna be checking the money that y'all talking about checking, and Calvin gonna be looking like that. I told Tank them to pay him. I told him to pay him because, or we need to go on coach's strike around this motherfucker, because ain't no way Bill should be getting paid and Calvin shouldn't. And Calvin need to thank Bill for mentioning this shit.
So you saying Calvin ain't getting paid?
Yo, he said ain't no reason Calvin should be looking the way he's looking if they making all this money.
Now that's the thing. They talk all that money talk. Can't be one nigga looking good and the rest of the crew if you getting thoroughbred money. You know what I'm talking about?
Again.
Yeah.
Bill Haney has repeatedly insisted that Tank and his team have been avoiding a fight with Devin Haney. According to Bill, his son has the ability to outbox anyone, including Tank, which is why Tank's camp has been reluctant to accept the matchup. He believes Devin's technical skills and high boxing IQ make him a real threat, which is why the fight has yet to happen.
Yes.
Okay. Tank is a beast.
Tank is a beast.
Tank is a beast. He's undefeated.
Yes.
I mean, I've interviewed him a while back. I mean, people have compared him to a young Mike Tyson multiple times. What do you think your son does better than Tank?
Box. He can outbox anybody. When Devin is being Devin, the Devin I know, he can outbox anybody on the planet. We have that kind of skill set. I think that matched up against Tank Davis, that was a fight that we've always liked. We've always fancied our chances. And that's the part of the business. That's the part of boxing, as having two sides, having that ultimate dance partner, right? And Tank and his team, they can't beat both. They can't be Tank and beat an opponent as well. You know what I mean? So they've said a lot of things, but the one thing that they haven't said is that they wanted to fight Devin.
Right, so that's not going to happen.
Not
in terms
next.
of anything that you've seen.
Not next, definitely not.
All right, because Gervonta has a fight against Lamont Roach on December 14th.
Against who?
Lamont Roach.
Who? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
This was
What are they
WBA.
fighting? I haven't heard too much about that fight. Have you heard a lot about that fight? I haven't heard
Not too much.
Yeah.
I'm not really familiar with Lamont Roach. Are you?
I almost forgot. Yeah, I almost forgot that they were even fighting. But no, shout out to the Roaches, Lamont and his dad. You know, a good team out of Washington, D.C.
When Devin Haney crossed paths with Calvin Ford, the trainer made it clear that he had no interest in exchanging word with him. Devin, however, confidently told Ford that he would knock Tank out, saying, "Big one takes little." This encounter only fueled the ongoing rivalry between Tank and Haney, making fans even more eager to see them finally face off in the ring.
And Bill on the line so we could just clear some things up.
I don't even want to talk to that dude, yo. I really don't. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I ain't got no words for him.
Really? He's on the line.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I ain't get on.
Yeah, cause my son. Hey, listen, cause my son will knock that nigga out. Cause my son will knock Tank the fuck out. That's why you don't want no words from me.
Running your mouth, boy.
Yeah,
like
I'm gonna keep running my mouth. I'm gonna keep running my mouth, nigga. You talking about you ain't got no words for me, nigga? What you mean you ain't got no words? Cause I said you wasn't getting no money.
Nigga, I'm getting money. You know I'm getting money. That's why you trying to get with me.
No, what you mean trying to get with you? Trying to get
that's
what?
what I just said. You
big one take little one.
You?
Hey, big one take little one.
Man, check this out, man. Like I said,
slow down talking about money, nigga.
Nuts, man. I ain't got time for that bullshit, Bill.
Big one take little one then, nigga.
Yeah, all right, nigga. We'll see
money. You ain't getting.
Calvin Ford has played a vital role in Tank's career, not just as his trainer, but also as a trusted advisor. He has helped Tank make key decisions throughout his boxing journey. When asked about a possible fight with Devin Haney, Calvin made it clear that if Haney was serious, his team should send over a contract.
Again, it's a sticky situation. You know, some promoters, some managers try to move the father out the life of certain situations and whatnot, you know? I don't think it's good because they know how the kid tick, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it could be detrimental because we've seen certain situations that the father do too much instead of letting the athlete be the athlete, you know? So, you know, it's a learning experience, and I learned from them situations and whatnot, what to do and what not to do, because at the end of the day, they're their own self, you know what I'm saying, and hope that you gave them enough knowledge to be what they want to become, you know?
Now, I want to run two scenarios off to you. You got Bernard Hackett and Jaleel Hackett. Great dad, great son, father fighter duo. And one thing I know is about Mr. Bernard, he has no problem not being the lead guy.
No,
and still being the lead guy at the same time.
I can expound on that because I've been in Bernard and his son life since the amateurs. You know what I'm saying? He trusts the people that he put his son around. Did that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Bill Haney has criticized Tank Davis for being too active on social media. He suggested that instead of tweeting, Tank should handle things in a more professional way if he truly wants to fight Devin. Haney also pointed out that his son, Devin, generates money for every fighter he faces, emphasizing that this fight isn't just about pride, it's business.
You say Tank doesn't want any of it. Why is that? I know you can't give him...
Man, get off of Twitter, man, and knock it off, man. If you the face of boxing, then send over something, man. You know what I'm saying? Something respectful like you're really trying to do this shit. Because every fighter that Devin fuck with gets paid, man, the most money, man. Knock it off, man. That's bunk business, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we don't need you. Let the welfare feed you for real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for real. Because that's where you're going to be at in the welfare line. You keep shitting on the people, giving them the fake fights, talking about that we done charged $57. Listen, we going to give you the best fights, and we going to get all the people in there, you know what I'm saying, because that's what we do. And we pay the fighters. We give the fans an opportunity to come in. That's that old bullshit-ass business model that you're going to charge the fans for some bullshit fights, and that you the face of boxing because you just keep shoving it down their throat, man. The Mayweather era, that's over with, man. It's the Devin Haney era. That Mayweather shit is over with, man. You hear me? Over with. Floyd ain't never did what Devin did at 25. Tank ain't did it, nobody else ain't did it.
Before turning pro, Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney had sparred against each other as young fighters. Former champion Adrian Broner revealed that during those sessions, Tank had the upper hand against Devin. This past history has now become a talking point in the debate over who would win if they met in a professional fight.
Did you ever see him spar any of them?
Yeah.
What happened? Who he sparred?
Y'all know what happened, man.
I don't know.
He sparred Devin. It's packed, it's hot. They get in there. Tank hit that nigga. He hit him, boom. Then he hit him again and he went out. I jumped in the ring. Because at the time, Devin is 17. He calmed down and they got back to working Tank got a little bit more fatigue and once they kept going, Devin got the best of him.
Oh, okay.
But in a real fight time with 8-ounce gloves on, bye.
Despite rumors of tension, Tank Davis assured fans that he and Calvin Ford had spoken and that everything between them was fine. He insisted their relationship remained strong and that nothing major had happened. However, some fans and analysts remained skeptical, pointing to Tank's recent fight against Lamont Roach as evidence that something seemed off.
I'm talking about family at this point. Because you pulled up with just somebody else. You didn't even pull up with your team you pulled up with. We ain't see Calvin. Yeah.
Calvin was there.
Okay.
Calvin was there.
Okay.
I think he came a little late, though. I spoke to him.
Y'all good?
Yeah.
All right, because
I just seen Calvin, too. But that's another thing. Calvin is someone that he's like, when I ain't had no pops, Calvin was the person that you feel me, stepped in them shoes. So no matter if he's not my coach, anything like that, he's always gonna be in my life.
And that's why I said I would have asked that question off camera because I already know. So I ain't, but you already cleared it.
Even though Tank says he and Calvin are still on good terms, many fans and boxing analysts notice a change in the dynamic during the Lamont Roach fight. Throughout the match, Tank's interactions with Calvin seemed different, leading to speculation that their relationship had shifted. Some believe Tank was less engaged with Calvin's advice, fueling rumors of possible tension between them.
Something is definitely going on between Calvin Ford and Gervonta Davis. Now, we all seen that knockdown in the 9th round, but what you probably didn't see is what happened after that in between rounds. Check this out.
Cal, you gotta calm down. Listen to me. Hey, come on now.
Coach Barry Hunter trained Tank for this fight with Lamont Roach, not Calvin Ford. A lot of people were saying that this performance has something to do with that. So, is something really going on between Calvin Ford and Tank Davis? Check out what Tank had to say.
No, I wasn't really paying attention to the crowd. You know what I mean? I was more so. It's something we gotta work on in the corner, for sure.
Under Calvin Ford's guidance, Gervonta Davis has excelled in his career, but in his fight against Lamont Roach, something fell off. Fans quickly pointed out that Tank didn't look as sharp as usual and struggled to find his rhythm without Calvin's usual presence in his corner. Some even called it the worst performance of Tank's career.
In my mind, this is why Gervonta Davis struggled that fight, so just roll with me for a second, you'll see where I'm going. I don't know if y'all noticed it right away, but I noticed it. Calvin Ford was not the head man in the corner, which I didn't really understand. And before the video continues, go ahead to the follow button because we're about to deep dive into this and we post every day. Calvin Ford was not the lead man who's been with Gervonta since he was a damn near child. Honestly, since he was a child. Why would you do that? I don't know if they were underestimating the fight. I don't know if they were just trying to change it up and try something new because this wasn't a huge opponent. I don't know if there's something wrong with Calvin or Calvin's not going to be there. I don't know. But that was damn stupid. Because you notice when shit started hitting the fan, guess what voice popped up on that screen? Put his head through ropes and Calvin started coaching. When Tank's eye messed up, guess where he looked? He didn't look at that other corner man. He looked for Calvin Ford. Also, Tank talked a lot during this fight. It was a little bit of a different Tank than we've seen. He was chirping with the fire, which isn't new. He was arguing with the ref. He seemed not composed. I feel like that would have been different with a Calvin Ford in his corner. Because I'm going to be real, the advice that his corner was giving him was dog shit. Like, yeah, he won the fight, but let's be real, he shouldn't have won that fight. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I think that definitely played a role, and I feel like if Calvin was there, it would have been a little different. But yeah, not a good boxing night from Tank, and this is from a Tank fan, so.
While some argue that even after parting ways with Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis, Tank remains undefeated and just as dominant. Others believe his raw talent and experience alone are enough to keep him at the top.
Just firing his team. What inside information will he have that Kenny Ellis don't have? And if Kenny Ellis and Calvin Ford were fired by Gervonta Tank Davis, then okay, Tank Davis is still undefeated, still knocking shit out, still about to have a pay-per-view that's going to far exceed anything that Devin Haney has ever done in his entire career, and his name is not based on Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis. Now, Tank Davis has struck me as a young man that's much more loyal than that. Kenny Ellis and Calvin Ford are also loyal. The co-head trainer, Kenny Ellis, has spoke on it, and he said that they still together. Calvin Ford has said people just believe in shit, ain't nothing changed. And Calvin Ford was at the second press conference where he picked up Tank Davis and hugged him. I don't think Tank Davis is letting you hug him and having you at his press conference and having that type of access to him if he ain't fucking with you no more. But it'll all be shelled out when we start seeing them training videos. It'll all be hashed out, I should say, when we start seeing them training videos. When we start seeing them, when we start seeing the fucking glove off episodes and shit like that, and ultimately March 1st, the night of the fight, we'll see who's right and see who's wrong. But you know, people on that side of Bill Haney, you know, shit'll be subject to change. They'll probably be liable to tell your ass that Bill was right, that Kenny Ellis and Calvin Ford got fired and Tank Davis just decided to rehire him or some shit. And people will spin that shit to try to make it sound good, like Bill Haney didn't tell a flat out liar, like he wasn't dead ass wrong. But it is what it is.
Despite the controversy surrounding his split from Ford and Kenny Ellis, Tank has stated that they were more than just coaches. They were mentors. He has expressed gratitude for their role in his career, acknowledging their impact. However, some fans still question whether those relationships have truly been repaired. The ongoing discussions about Gervonta Davis and his former coach Calvin Ford have sparked debate in the boxing world. While some believe Tank is still the same fighter, others argue that his recent performance against Lamont Roach suggests otherwise.
They was more than coaches. That's why I fell in love with the sport. It wasn't just like the sport of boxing. It was the love I got from it type shit, like what I wasn't getting at home. You know what I mean? Because I only had my grandmother type shit. So I got that, and I feel as though we built this off of loyalty and a little bit of heart. You know what I mean? Definitely, we came a long way. You know what I mean? And I just want to embrace them just as well as people embrace me. I feel as though they need to get the recognition too.